Tonight and this morning have blocked roads across the country with tailbacks of more than 20 miles on the M20 motorway. East Anglia, Essex and Kent received the heaviest falls. More snow is expected to move in from the continent later today, spreading west. From the M25, our South of England correspondent Robert Hall reports.
Good morning. Snow is causing a second day of havoc in the southeast.
More snow on the way, more depressing headlines for commuters. Motoring organisations described road conditions as a nightmare. On the M25, traffic was backed up for over 20 miles. The sheer size of the jams hindering emergency services and causing further delay to the gritting teams, still trying to reach sections of the motorway affected by black ice. Over 200 drivers had simply abandoned their vehicles, one section of the M25 completely closed so that police could clear the carriageway.
In the early hours of this morning, there were a large amount of motorists, lorry drivers stranded on the motorway, most of whom made their way to the services at Clackett's, some of whom stayed the night in their vehicles.
Weather experts tracking the band of snow westwards warned that any improvement in driving conditions may be short-lived.
There's a little bit of a respite across the low countries and parts of the southern parts of the North Sea. The next lot of real snow is sitting at the moment over central parts of Germany, and that's heading this way.
The AA, dealing with a flood of calls, are warning drivers not to travel unless absolutely necessary.
We've been significantly busier than usual with the temperature and the traffic conditions. Probably 60% more than normal volume on breakdowns, and of course our patrols have had the added difficulty of actually getting to the jobs.
The traffic is now moving, but the message from police is still to keep speeds down and allow plenty of time for that journey home. Robert Hall, ITN.
Cars were removed and gritters brought into action. Scores of minor bumps were reported as motorists work. For most, though, it just meant hours of frustration stuck in long traffic queues. But the police have accused many drivers of crass stupidity.
Driving far too close to the vehicle in front, driving far too quickly, making sudden movements. And really another bit of advice is in this sort of weather, if your skill level isn't up to this, then please think twice about taking the car, use some other form of transport to get around.
Minor roads have also been a headache for motorists, especially with black ice forming, thought to have been responsible for 2 deaths in accidents earlier today. With the south and southeast among the worst hit areas, more than 20 schools in Kent have been forced to close. But forecasters say there's no sign of conditions improving. They're warning of more freezing weather tonight.
Well, there's more snow on the way. Once again, I think the heaviest of the snowfall will be on the eastern side of England. There, another 4 to 6 centimetres in places. That's 1 or 2 inches.
60% more than normal volume on breakdowns, and of course our patrols have had the added difficulty of actually getting to the jobs.
In country areas where temperatures hovered close to freezing, roads remained extremely hazardous. Experts are warning that conditions may worsen tonight.
There's a little bit of a respite across the low countries and parts of the southern parts of the North Sea. The next lot of real snow is sitting at the moment over central parts of Germany, and that's heading this way.
Brighter news for police and drivers is unlikely before Friday. Robert Hall, ITN, Kent.
Well, live now to Robert Hall, who's by the M25. Robert, what's the scene there now?
Well, Dermot, I spent much of the afternoon with this Kent police patrol. I'm glad to say things are better. The traffic's moving. The jams that I sat in yesterday are not here. But police are warning people should not be complacent. There's more bad weather on the way. And more to the point, if you look at that lamp fitting behind me there, you can see the icicles which illustrate that temperatures have never risen above freezing. Indeed, as I stand here, I can feel it. It's getting distinctly colder. They're due to plummet again. There's more snow falling. There'll be further hidden hazards.
Well, tell us more, Robert, about what the next 24 hours hold.
Well, the latest reports that I've had suggest there's a band of snow, not as heavy as last night, but quite persistent, about an inch of it due tonight, moving in across Kent. It'll travel in once again. High ground will bear the brunt of it, but as it was the case last time, the band of snow will continue westwards across the country. People living further west can expect lighter falls of snow.
Thanks a lot, Robert.
More snow has been forecast for tonight, and conditions are expected to get worse in the northeast. Motoring organisations say drivers must take extra care.
With temperatures plunging to well below zero thanks to a Russian weather system, many of Britain's roads have become chaotic. Parts of the M25, heavily affected by snow this morning, had to be closed while abandoned cars were removed and the road salted. In East Sussex, scores of minor bumps were reported as frustrated motorists struggled to get to work. More seriously, the icy conditions have been blamed for 4 deaths, 3 in Nottinghamshire, 1 in Carmarthen. Once again, the police have been highly critical of driver behaviour.
Driving far too close to the vehicle in front, driving far too quickly, making sudden movements. And really another bit of advice is in this sort of weather, if your skill level isn't up to this, then please think twice